I was in the kitchen making dinner when my husband said I needed to come into the living room right away. The president was making a special announcement. Her face appeared. Along either side of her were grim-faced scientists. At first there was a long, detailed description of their whole process of coming to their scientific conclusions. A series of graphs were shown. First they showed how things are now, that the average temperature of the Earth has climbed by 4 degrees, that all marine life in the ocean has died. The president announced that Florida was being delisted, officially removed as a state, since at this point they had sunk into the sea and no longer had any human residence. The president further announced that a climate refugee camp had been set up in Minnesota, Maine, and North Dakota for citizens who were now homeless from Florida, the east coast of the United States, the Gulf Coast of the United States, and the city of San Francisco. A reporter asked the question, how much worse could all this get? Just then I could smell the casserole and became concerned about it burning when the president blurted out her summation. We are doomed. Then all hell broke loose in the White House press room. I began to disassociate. I went back into the bedroom and dug through the medical marijuana until I found the strain called green crack. I could smell the casserole burning, so I came out and dished it up on plates, but no one was hungry. My husband was crying on the couch. I heard a number of gunshots in the neighborhood. The children were crying. I took the green crack into the kitchen, poured out a cup of whole milk, and put a double dose of green crack inside. I simmered it for 45 minutes and ingested it. The rest of the evening was a blur. Each morning, I ingested green crack. The next 3 days were a blur. I used up the green crack marijuana strain. And 3 days later, I woke up on the couch. It was light outside. I had no idea what time it was, what day it was. A young man was on the doorstep. He knocked on the door. I opened it. He said that the government was distributing packets with pills in it so that citizens could avoid the inevitable. I asked him what he meant by that. He said these pills will give you a quiet and peaceful death. He also gave me a coupon for a 10% discount on cremation. I thanked him and shut the door. An hour afterwards, I was uncertain if I dreamed this or if it had actually happened. I walked around the house, kind of dazed. The children's bedroom was empty. I looked out the window and noticed that my husband's car was gone. Just then I realized that my clothes were soaked in sweat. I called out to Alexa. Alexa, what's the temperature? The temperature is 135 degrees. I was startled at that. I opened the front door for air, but it was like opening the door to a large oven. A wave of intense heat hit my face, and I hurriedly slammed the door. I walked over, turned on the air conditioning, and pressed my face to the air conditioning vent. It wasn't enough. I ran into the bedroom and got one of my husband's t-shirts. I stopped up the sleeves and filled the t-shirt with ice from the refrigerator. Then I took a beach towel and made a small tent over the air conditioning vent and kept the t-shirt full of ice on my lap. Then there was a knock on the door. I put down the ice and towel and opened the door. Shirley Smith, my next-door neighbor, was standing at the door looking hysterical. Her eyeshadow was running down her face. She said, "Ralph shot himself." I felt unsteady on my feet. "I'm so sorry," I muddled. Still hungover. I could feel myself disassociating again. I don't remember anything else that happened that day. The next morning, I woke up alone. I felt groggy. The air conditioning was running full blast. I could hear the fan blowing. It must be hot outside. I checked the indoor thermostat. It's 98 degrees inside. "Alexa, what's the weather for today?" "Today will be hot with a high of 140 and a low of 130. I glanced out the window and noticed that the pavement was slick from melting. All the vegetation was now gone. I went back to the medical marijuana bag and dug through it. I was all out of green crack. Let's try Snow Dog. I go to the fridge, but I discovered I'm out of milk. So I mix it with olive oil and simmer it and put a double dose of pot in it. I check in the kids' room. Still no one there. The doorbell rings. I open the door. A young man in a shiny, reflective space blanket is standing there. I ask, "What can I do for you?" "I'm selling hits of coke." You're selling cocaine door to door?" "Yes, ma'am, I am." "Well, at least you're polite." I don't do cocaine. Do you have anything else?" "Well, ma'am, I have some hashish." "Okay, that sounds interesting. What's the strain?" "Panama Red, ma'am." "Oh, that was my favorite. How much?" $50, ma'am." "Okay, let me get my purse." I dig around in my purse. I come back. I only have $45. "Ma'am, that's cool. I'll take it." I shut the door. I still feel oddly disassociated. I go in the bathroom and find my old pipe. It's been a long time since I smoked hashish. Do I just break off a piece and smoke it? I guess so. I realize that I'm sitting here talking to myself. I break off a piece, stick it in the pipe, and light it. I start having a coughing fit, and I suddenly remembered how much I disliked smoking. I decide to turn on CNN. At first, I can't make out what in the world is happening. CNN is doing some kind of live coverage of some kind of weird event. People are shooting at each other, and they're taking hammers and breaking at the windows in the store. It looks like it's Saks Fifth Avenue. I changed the channel. Now I'm looking at BBC World News. A huge crowd of people have cornered the hierarchy of the Communist Party of China in a police station, and people are throwing Molotov cocktails through broken windows. Police and soldiers are shooting wildly and randomly, anyone and everyone, and people are responding by ramming their cars into the police lines and killing officers. There's a soldier firing machine guns into the crowd. I decided to change the channel. Okay, what's this? YouTube. I type in ambient music with rain. It comes on. Oh, it's nice. I can hear the rain. The music's very peaceful. I slump into the couch. I hear the door open. Door open. Kathy, my daughter, walks in with a boy. I say, "Hi, Kathy." She says, "Hi, Mom." I say, "What's up, Kathy?" She says, "You mean besides the world ending?" Yeah, besides that." "Well, Mom, I decided that since the world is ending, there's no use saving myself for marriage, so I brought Ricky home. We're going to go upstairs and have sex." I look at her puzzled. Kathy, am I in a dream? Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom, you're in a dream. Go back to your hypnotic show. We're going to go upstairs. Okay, Kathy. I close my eyes and listen to the music and the sound of the rain. It feels so peaceful. I take another hit of the hashish. You know, it's been a long time since I said a prayer. What is it that I want? What is it that I really, really want? Yes, I know. I want oblivion. I want oblivion.